I can't hear you.
Now you can hear me, right?
Yes, I can.
How are you today?
Oh, I'm getting my composure together. But I'm doing well, Elizabeth. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Well,
Good.
welcome everybody who might be watching us from Facebook and those of you who will be watching the recording. I hope this interview finds you alive, alert, awake, and enthusiastic about life and living. I am Elizabeth Green, the founder of the Indigo Institute of Nevada, where I work with all of you highly sensitive, natural born leaders, which I refer to as indigos. Live your best life now. And I've been using a new program, which we're getting accustomed to using. Murphy has been trotting around for a while the last couple of days. You know Murphy's Law that says if anything can go wrong, it will. But as a presenter, you know that and you just push on. Well, I'm doing these series of interviews to really introduce you to indigos that are stepping out and really discovering who they really are. In my book, Building Spiritual Muscle, my new book, and I'll find it here somewhere. My my new book, Building Spiritual Muscle. I talk about my own journey, but I wanted you to realize that I am not the only one. Like you are not the only one that have run into problems and have certain traits that you might have wondered about. So I had on um, Karen Fern, who talked about money because that's important to indigos, wanting to make sure you have your money in your pocket. Then I had Donna Threadgill on yesterday or the day before, and she talked about parenting. And all of these interviews you can see either on YouTube or my Facebook page. And today I have on Monica Bickerstaff, who is a certified holistic health practitioner with clinical expertise. It's a mouthful, but that is who she is. And I met Monica last year, I believe, end of last year, when
Right.
I was
It was
experiencing.
actually around this time.
Yeah,
It was
so
it
it's
was October it was October 20th of last year.
oh, you're really good with time.
Yeah. Well, because it was an event, so I remember the event.
Okay. And I was just getting into utilizing the internet to get my message across. I spent most of my life as a trainer, teacher, and for the last 15 years, I was traveling all over the country, and I had to find a way that I could get the message across and not get the wear and tear on my body. But being a sensitive, the EMFs, the electromagnetic frequencies that come from your computer and your cell phone were really affecting me. And I stopped at that event and I said, hey, and I was telling her, and she, right off the bat, she doesn't say that she is a medical intuitive, but my guides tell me she is. She, right off the bat, told me what my symptoms were and was able to whip up one of her potions that really made a difference. So, Monica, um, yeah, let me ask you. You know what I mean by indicos, and that I talk about that each of us are very sensitive when we're children. Did you find yourself like that?
Oh, definitely. I still am like that. Very, very sensitive to sounds, to smells. Um, I'm really, but more sensitive to people's energies, more so than anything else. I know immediately when I walk into a room, if it's a room where I want to stay, or if I really need to leave because I'm feeling ill. And one of the things, I come from a legacy of intuitives, of indigos. And my Nana, who is 100 years young, we call her, she recognized that at an early age when I was about 4. And she's actually the one who introduced me to um, herbs in the beginning, how to make my own essential oils. We used to make lavender essential oil together, orange essential oil, peppermint, and lemon. So those were the 4 that she taught me when I was very young. But lavender essential oil is one essential oil that I recommend that all indigos that we carry with us. It's one of the only safe essential oils that you can apply to your skin or inhale directly from the bottle, so you don't have to have a carrier oil. But lavender is to provide emotional security and grounding and comforting. So I find that as an adult now, as an adult indigo, as an adult child, when I'm in a place and I'm not feeling safe or secure or grounded, I whip out my lavender essential oil and I inhale it and rub it all on my neck and at my temples. And that helps me, push through.
Now, what set you on the path of learning about essential oils? What in your past, what was the turning point for you? Because now you say you come from a long line of
Yes.
intuitives. So I'm
Mhm.
assuming that you were trained on how to use it, but you took a much more traditional route, didn't you, initially?
Yes, and I wasn't really trained how to use it until I stepped into what I feel is rooted in one of my ancestral spirits, which is a natural medicine woman and as a natural spiritual leader. I took the traditional route. I graduated from Vassar College. I went to graduate school, graduated with a broadcast degree in journalism. I spent a 15-year, very successful career in executive management for a television network, which I won't name. But it was really at that point that kind of I took my first turning point because I was living in New York City. I'm from New York. I was living in New York City, living La Vida Loca, enjoying my life, free spirited, but a very, very stressful, demanding career. And when I went home one holiday, my Nana said to me, "Okay, you are stressed. What's going on? um, Come over here. Let me do what I used to do when you were 4." She started to rub the lavender essential oil on my chest. And it was after that vacation, that Christmas vacation, when I said, I know that I'm off balance. I know that my chakras are out of whack. I know that I'm not feeling grounded. I know that I'm not maximizing my creative potential. And I know that I'm suffering from adrenal fatigue. So, what do I do? I actually, this is so interesting. I was attending a lecture one evening and on the Lower East Side of Manhattan, walking to the train and passed by a school of herbology. Now, if that's not a sign, I don't know what is. A brick and mortar building right in front of me, and I pulled the pamphlet information that was on the door. And because it was late night, that very next morning, I called and enrolled. So, what I actually did then, I kind of veered from my path. I needed to learn I knew the roots. I knew how oils worked, but I needed to know how they worked with the body. I needed to know how they could heal the body, the emotions, and the mind. Okay. And I needed to
Hmm.
understand that essential oils are medicines. I think that there's such a trend now with essential oils that most people don't realize that they are medicines. When you pop open the top, unscrew the top of any essential oil, you're inhaling a medicine and you need to know what it does. So I went to a school that taught me, it was an integrative medical school of herbology. So on the one hand, I learned how the roots and the leaves and the flowers of the essential oils worked. I learned how herbs worked. I focused on women's medicine. On the other medical side, I had to train under doctors. I learned biology, chemistry, physiology, anatomy, all of that great stuff. And because I excelled in my program, when my 3 years were over, I was selected to work with an astounding man, Dr. Jonathan Liu, who was one of the first OBGYNs, had a huge booming practice in Manhattan. He was one of the first to integrate um, natural medicine with allopathic traditional medicine, and he was treating his patients. I interned under him for 9 months. So that's where I gained the clinical precision, clinical expertise working with patients under a doctor's supervision. And that's when I knew that even if I stayed in television or if I chose to work in some other field down the line, I knew that I would always be able to come back to my center and come back to my roots, which was healing.
Okay. And you say, isn't it funny that you ran into a brick and mortar building? Our guides and mine think they're hilarious.
Yeah.
will, will lead us if we are open and aware as to the signals they send us. Too often we expect our guidance to come with the skies parting and the thunder and the chariot
Right.
rolling down. And this
Yes.
is guidance. But like yours, you were connected and started on your path by a a pamphlet. For
Yeah.
me, it was a mailer out of the blue that started me on my training. So
Yeah.
now you had said that there was an event in your lifetime, and you know I share in my book some of the blessings and curse of being so sensitive. Have you in your lifetime experienced any of the curses of being
Hmm.
so sensitive? Would you like to share with us?
Yeah, some of the real perils, I believe that as indigos, we have to really be careful of the types of people that we allow into our space, that we allow into our energy circle. And we have a tendency when we talk to people, when we see a person's light, we can see their potential, but we often take that for granted to mean how they are at the present time. And that's not how they are, that's their potential, and sometimes they don't make it there. So we have to be conscious and understand that we really need to accept people for face value. What people show up as is what they are. Let's not try to recreate them or say, in 5 years, I know you're going to be doing this and I see you as this. Don't see anything. See them for what they are at that time. Because throughout my lifetime, I have had, and I'm better at this now, but it's taken me 40 years to get to this point. I'm better now at discerning who I allow and keep in my circle. I used to attract energy vampires and probably borderline sociopaths, but definitely narcissists for whatever reason, we empaths have a
Mm-hmm.
strong affinity to narcissists. Number one, they are attracted to us because we are their conscience. We become their light, which they do not have. And we feel as if we can fix them. We feel as if we will rub off on them, which we won't. So let me be clear. Keep away from the narcissist because that is my ex-husband, and he pulled a whammy on the whole family. He was a man that I knew, considerably older than I, but a man that my family had known for many, many years. And when we married, he totally changed into what he was,
Mm-hmm.
or I saw him for what he was. And I knew that if I did not grow up, get over my naivete, my empathic naivete, and face what I was living with, when he said to me, I'm going to kill you, I knew then that no, it was not going to be me who was going to be dead up in this relationship. So
Mm-hmm.
I had to grow up quickly, and I had to seek tools to help me mentally. Physically, I was fine. I had the physical endurance, but I had to get my mental right. I knew that literally I was at war. I don't like to use that word, but with my ex-husband, I was at war.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that I was not going to be the casualty of that event. So I definitely, um, through prayer, I listened to God's whisper. I had the game plan, the blueprint. I knew what I needed to do, and I knew that I had to focus on essential oils and herbs for my lower chakras to help me first get grounded and stabilize, and then help me see and bring into fruition the plan. The third eye was pivotal as far as my change. And with that type of personality, the narcissistic personality, you have to stay two steps ahead of them. I actually went to a psychiatrist who specialized. She was in New York. I left Vegas for a while and went back to New York and sought the expertise from someone who actually had a practice set up for spouses who were married to narcissistic personality disorder people. So it helps to know that you can also be affirmed in what you're feeling. Because oftentimes when we're feeling attacked, um, it's difficult to get the affirmation that we need in order to keep going. And as a certified holistic health practitioner, heck, I should know, I had the tools. I am a certified aromatherapist, a master herbalist, and I'm trained in traditional Chinese medicine. So there was no excuse. And there was no excuse. So I did what I knew I had to do. Um, there are three essential oils I'm being told I need to emphasize, especially for those of you who are going through any type of trauma, emotional trauma, PTSD. Um, get lavender, lemon, geranium, and ylang ylang. Those are the oils that you will need to kind of help you through your peril and come out on the other side.
Yeah, and what you're sharing, Monica, is so important to many indigos whose primary intuitive ability is that of an empath, of that of a feeler. Because why you are such a good healer is because you can absorb, or you're moving into that other person's field. And I think until you recognize the fact that it is important to shield yourself, to
Yeah,
close yourself up, that you
right.
don't go around all the time completely open because
Right.
you absorb so much of it. And like you said, it's like an energy vampire that just drains you. And now,
Yes.
for those of you who are listening to the interview and you're wondering, what is Monica talking about when she's talking about chakras and your energy field? This is something that I go over fully in my essential skills um, for Indigo because I feel that they forgot to give us the
Mm,
handbook when we
right.
came of how to
Yeah.
survive on Earth. You
Yes.
know,
We had no, I mean, we're literally tripping the light fantastic. We don't have a handbook. We have to make one, put one together, research the tools to help us. And then once we have the handbook or pieces of the handbook, we have to share with our sisters and share with our brother kindred spirits, because that's the only way that we can. Um, I believe in, giving back, reach back, pull someone up with you. I pull a whole village up with me when I reach back because it's necessary to do so.
yeah, and I believe the same thing. I believe that we came here for this particular time, and it's why it is we can feel like I said, I'm out of the closet. I can
Right.
feel like I can come out of the closet, and many other people feel the same way, is because it is that time on this
Yeah.
planet
Right.
that we are being called to wake up
Right.
and to remember our gifts and to clear and listen to our own intuitive guidance so that we can shine the vibration of light. I always talk about listening to the AM Always Mad channel or the FM where you're freely manifesting. And those are thoughts and that you can keep affirming, and by using natural things like
Mhm.
essential oils as a tool,
Mhm.
recognizing you are sensitive, you are subject to being bombarded by other people's feelings, that there is a way for you to stay grounded, to stay within yourself, opposed to having everybody and their mama feed off of you.
Absolutely. You can use essential oils literally to apply to the body, and they will absorb into your bloodstream. They will inspire confidence in your body temple. They will also act as a repellent and help you when you're in places where you know you're going to be faced with a lot of different energies. You can diffuse essential oils in your home to literally turn those other folks who are in your home, turn them around. Oftentimes I joke, I could have diffused certain essential oils in my home if I had chosen to stay in that marriage. But because my ex was identified as a narcissist, those are personality traits that do not change. And I knew that I would not be able to thrive and flourish healthfully in that marriage. So that's why I was not diffusing anything in that household at that time. Um, so I didn't diffuse until I got him out of the house. Then I saged, of course. But I also knew uh, recipes of essential oils that I needed to diffuse to bring back peace, to bring back calm, to inspire wisdom and creativity again. I literally had to rebirth myself. And
Mhm.
I did that with the oils and the herbs. And one thing I want to say, because there's a lot of misinformation that floats around through a lot of different essential oil companies who are literally just trying to get you to buy their product. I always recommend that if you're going to use any type of essential oil therapy, that you work with someone like myself, who is a certified aromatherapist. I know how medicinal wise those oils respond to your body and react to your body. And one of the examples, and Elizabeth has heard me use this before, especially with women. This is why you need me as certified aromatherapist, because if you are on any type of birth control, I don't care if it's the pill, the patch, the latch, the scoop, I don't care, the sponge, um, you need to stay away from grapefruit essential oil. And right now, grapefruit essential oil is in the news. It's trending because it burns fat, it burns cellulite. And so everyone's going out and getting grapefruit essential oil and dropping it in their water or their juice. Ladies, if you're on birth control, no bueno. That's not a good thing to do, because I can tell you, in 9 months, you will have a surprise bundle of joy sitting on your lap, and you're wondering what happened. Um, Grapefruit essential oil renders any type of birth control ineffective. So, a certified aromatherapist knows this. By the same token, if you are in your first trimester of pregnancy, you are experiencing nausea. Again, what's trending is a lot of people reach for that peppermint essential oil because it's known to ease digestive disorders. It's known to ease nausea. As a pregnant woman, stay away from peppermint essential oil in your first trimester, okay? Because in some women, and you don't want to take this risk, but in some women, it will inspire contractions and you will go into preterm labor. So these are the things, this is what distinguishes me from someone who has just learned something off of a bottle or off of the internet or with an MLM company versus myself, who is clinically trained. I have a medical background. That's the distinction. And that's the important distinction that you need to understand when you are working with essential oils, because they are medicine.
Wow, I'm looking at the time and we've already at 27 minutes.
We
And so
always do this. How
we
did
are
we get here so fast?
we're because it's so interesting. We
I
are going,
know.
and we're going to have you on again because it
Of
is
course.
my um passion. It is my
Yes.
purpose to
Yes.
provide information because you can live a successful, happy life now. And
Yes.
like Monica talked about her past. I have to say something about that. You can love somebody, but not
Right.
like their behavior. There is a
Right.
distinction between that. And if
Right.
their behavior is affecting you negatively, you can say goodbye. People say, well,
Absolutely.
what have you been doing? Listening to all that self-help stuff? Well, the only kind of help you can get is the help that you provide for yourself. Like I
Right.
talk about, building spiritual muscle is the hardest thing to do because nobody can do it for you.
Right.
Monica, is there anything else that you want to share with us, how people can get in contact with you? Of course, I will put it on the video, both the YouTube video
Oh, good.
recording and on this. But if you would like to share it now, please do.
Okay, so you can find me on Facebook under Monica Bickerstaff. I have a wonderful YouTube channel that is sensational. It's called Monica Bickerstaff, and I have two shows. I have Sassy, Sexy, and Ageless with Fountain of Youth Guru Monica Bickerstaff, where I go more in depth about how you can live fulfilled, ageless, loving, sexy lives using essential oils and herbs. And my other program is the DIY Aroma Quickie, Do It Yourself Aroma Quickie, where I'm literally teaching you some of these recipes for like eczema relief or hormone balancing, or sexy, spicy massage oil, So I'm doing those DIY on my YouTube. And then just this week, I launched my online store, which is Monica's Vegas Holistic Health Emporium. And I will make sure to give Elizabeth the link so that you all can visit my store. I have all of my product essentials. I have all of my oils. I have my detox serums. I have my metabolism booster. Everything that you need for your wellness and beauty and to live a wonderful, fabulous life.
Okay. And I have to put in my 2 cents because I am truly a fan. One, her, what is it? My elixir for the hair.
Oh, yeah, the Nana's Healthy Hair Elixir. Yes. This is the #1 bestseller.
Ladies, if your hair is thinning out, get it. Second, the body oil, the massage, peace of mind is another favorite of
Peace
mine.
of mind is another favorite of everyone's. And Elizabeth, I have to say, she has been my #1 VIP because she has been a loyal client of mine from the very beginning. So she knows what she's talking about.
Hey, when I like something, I share it. And also the ones that she does personally for you.
Right.
I would definitely say if you are experiencing some dis-ease in your body, opposed to trying to solve it yourself, give Monica a call so that she can mix up something that is especially for you. Everything that
Right.
she's done that's been especially for me, and I've had her do several, have worked exceptionally well.
Right.
Okay.
That's my training. I diagnose disease in the body temples of women and men, and then I recommend natural therapies, restorative therapies using essential oils and herbs. So that's my passion now, and I'm pretty much out of the broadcasting phase now. Sometimes they call me, they want me to do a special project for some network, but I'm walking my passion now, which is the healing naturally with oils and herbs. Back to my roots.
Hey, glad that you got back to your roots. I know I met
Yes.
your mama and the whole family's interesting.
The whole
Right.
family is very interesting. Yeah.
You know, who is a professor and has been a professor at Vassar for a black
Right.
woman during that time to be
Yeah.
a professor at a white
Yeah.
Ivy League school
Yeah.
was she was stepping out.
Yeah,
Definitely.
well, she was stepping out in the 70s, and
Hmm.
that's when she was employed in the 70s. That's when she was brought on to Vassar staff in the 70s, and she was young and she had, a toddler of two, me. So,
Hmm.
and she was doing a lot back then, and it's interesting because I see my mom now embracing more of her empath. She's always grappled with the science versus intuition argument that's been around for, those scientist type people.
Yeah.
So, she's a psychologist. So it's like she grapples with that. But my nanas have always, both of them, and they're both living, they have always, taken me in and, this is what you need to do. This is what's happening when you see this or when you feel this. When you dream this, I see a lot of things through my dreams. So they've really helped me
Okay.
and
Well,
continue to do so.
oh, Monica, I hate to cut this short, but one of the things that I have learned about indigos is we have a very short attention span. So,
We sure do. Right. I'm looking around now. What do I need to do?
So I'm trying to keep these at a certain length so that you will be able to absorb the information. And if this is of value, please do comment and let me know. I like it when we can talk face to face. And another aspect of using this particular program is the ability to bring on um, guests to be able to ask questions live and get your questions answered. So, if
Oh,
this sounds like something that you would really like to have or you are appreciating, please do let me know in the comments. Okay? Well,
okay.
Monica,
Yes,
I
Elizabeth.
am. Again, thank you for hanging in there and helping me to
Yes.
beat up Murphy because Murphy
Right.
was stumping around the last couple of
Sure
days.
was. Yeah, Murphy got whacked.
and be able to share this information. I've got two more key people coming on. We're going to be talking about nutrition and using another shield that you can use, the crystals and BioPro to help you with the EMF. So,
That's wonderful.
yep. So I'm going to leave with my poem because it is the poem that I think says it means a lot to me because it's easy. It's easy to quit. And so the poem is, um, the poem is when things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile, but you have to sigh, when care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit. For life is queer with its twists and turns, as every one of us will someday learn. And many a failure turn about that might have won if they'd stuck it out. Success is just failure turned inside out the silver tint of the cloud of doubt. And you never know how close you are. You may be near when it seems so far. So stick to the fight when your heart is hit. It's when things seem worse that you must not quit. I thank you for coming on. I thank all of those who have listened to this. Remember, building spiritual muscle is what I am about, and you want to check out my Facebook page, K Elizabeth Green. You can go to YouTube where it's Building Spiritual Muscle with Elizabeth, and get on my mailing list and I'll send you a copy of that Don't Quit poem so that it can remind you that, hey, you too can live your best life now. May light, love, and plenty of laughter follow you on the path. I am Elizabeth. Thanks again, Monica.
You're very welcome.